Hi, Libra. Welcome to your 2024 outlook. Year ahead. Can you believe we are almost there? Libra, these are the cards that flipped out for you. And just to give you an idea of how I have this set up, I have love on the top. On the bottom, we have money. And I have them set up by seasons. So we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And together, all the cards combined give us a general. I'm going to be starting with the general read first, just to kind of give us an idea of what I'm looking at. But I will let you know, while I was shuffling your cards, they're flipping out, I was getting this energy of balance. You're finding balance in your life. This is the year you really are able to balance things. Also with balance, I'm getting money. You're able to balance your checkbook. You're able to balance your finances. You're able to balance your relationships. All the cards that came out and even the order in which they flipped out confirmed this beautiful balance. And Libra, how fitting, being that your sign is the sign of the scales. You know, you can't make this stuff up. So let's see what we have here. Again, we're going to start with the general. Now, the first card in here is death. And as many of you know, if you're familiar with tarot, death is a wonderful card. Now, for those of you who aren't, don't worry. We'll let you know. Death is actually a beautiful card and a beautiful card to enter this new year with. The death card is the card of transformation. It's the card of rising up from the ashes, leaving whatever carcass behind, going into something new. You're following the sun. You're leaving behind the skeletal remains of what used to be, what no longer serves you, what didn't work out, even negativity, okay? Now, when we think of death on the white horse here, the more spiritual meaning, of course, you pass on into a new location, a new dimension, a new realm, the afterlife, so to speak. Naturally, here in tarot, it doesn't mean that someone's going to die, okay? If anything, it's the former self of you. Basically, it's yourself. Much like a snake sheds its skin, much like a butterfly rises out of a cocoon, okay? What comes out of this is new and reborn and transformed. I feel like for those of you who are seeing this reading, prior to 2024, you're kind of going through it right now. You're going through a transformation right now to where by the time spring hits, you'll be really in your moment, okay? Now, for those of you who are seeing this at a later time, maybe it's already 2024 when you're seeing this, you may be able to confirm this energy here that you are sort of rising up out of something that a little bit struggle, a little bit of this and that, but you're finding that clear air to fly into. And again, I'm getting flight, and we'll go into that as well. Now, underneath death, we have the Lovers. So again, something new, this new birth, this new energy, you're being reborn. The flowers are blooming again. You're finding kinship with people again. You're able to relate to people again. Some of you are actually leaving a situation where it was very constraining on your time. And I'm getting this essence of time. Time is so precious. So I feel like some of you entering into 2024, you'll have more time. You're going to love having more time. And you're able to connect with people better. You're able to have a good time again. I feel like some of you didn't even get to go out, didn't get to spend time with loved ones, not a whole lot. Not the people that you wanted to, I felt like even though you may have lived in the same house with your loved ones, you didn't get to spend quality time with them. So I feel you're entering this phase of allowing yourself more time. Life has thrown you or catapulted you into a circumstance where you are able to benefit from, okay? And you get to have more time. Now, next up here, going into summer, we have the Two of Cups. That's definitely coming together. Again, the duality, okay? The duality, the two cups, the two people. You'll see here the two swords, infinity, this duality. Okay, there you are with your balance, that beautiful balance that you're bringing to the table here. I feel like you are getting recognition from other parties who aren't like yourself. I think you're getting admired by people who are different from you. Maybe they have very different lifestyles from you, and they still admire you. And that is something very impressive, Libra. It's not an easy feat. Usually when people are quite different from us, they tend not to see our strengths, okay? But unfortunately, that happens a lot. In this case, I see people from all walks of life wanting to meet you, wanting to connect with you, feeling like you're relatable, you're someone they could work with, there's someone you could befriend. Again, with the wings, I'm getting with the birds here, there's flight, you're taking off, you're flying free. Some of you might actually be flying, okay? You may actually be networking and connecting and flying for work, or just for joy, just for recreation. You might want to go fly and see someone. Now, underneath the Two of Cups here, we have the Knight of Swords. I love the Knight of Swords energy in this particular deck, which is the Uncommon Tarot. The Knight of Swords speaks to quick, fast action, knowing when to take action, being very methodical in your plan. It's also this young, youthful energy. He has a really good idea. He's going to execute it, and it's going to be successful. This is someone who knows. It's almost like he can do it blindfolded. But again, with the bird, the flight, we have this seagull here. So you're taking action. For some of you, you may be collaborating on a business plan, okay? For some of you, you may be collaborating with your significant other, that could happen too. But either way, you're taking action. And there's this balance, this duality of almost like the perfect yin-yang. I'm getting a lot of what you're encountering balances the other, like night and day, soft and hard, warm and cold. It balances each other. You're finding different ways of balancing your life. Now, next up here, we have the Two of Swords. Underneath the Two of Swords, we have the King of Swords. See all the sword energy? Here you are, Libra. You're showing up in this reading full throttle. And the Two of Swords sometimes speaks to indecision, but that's only with the adjacent cards. So with these cards that came out, this shows me that, again, you're finding balance. You're owning balance, especially by autumn. You raise from the Knight of Swords to the King of Swords. And you skip right, like here I go. And the King of Swords speaks to mastery of thought. Spore came out. Spore, like the old Roman. There was an old Roman reference towards spore. It was warrior fighting, like gladiators. Ancient Rome. I'm getting some of you may be visiting Rome. You may be visiting Italy. Italy may be prominent with some of you receiving this reading that just came through. I have to relay my messages as I get them. But I'm getting this mastery of thought. This is a very articulate energy, a very wise energy. This is the King of Swords, okay? The King of Swords makes very rational decisions. And that's something to really be proud of here, because we're looking at you, even in these moments where other people would have indecision, you simply see it as opportunity. You see it as opportunity. The Two Swords, again, right here, it's almost like you're that balance. You're balancing this energy out. Now, following into winter, we have the Strength here. And the Strength can speak to a number of things, but what I'm getting here is bravery. You were brave enough to take this on. You were brave enough to, I'm getting sort of forge a new path. You found a new path in your life that gave you this beautiful balance. I'm also getting here above, with the Strength, that infinity, that this is something continuous. You'll be able to continue this energy. Now, underneath Strength, we have the Wise One. The wise Libra, look at this. And again, I'm being drawn to the keys, the unlocking of something beautiful. Also, too, when you look at this bottom row, the way everything's blooming and flourishing, it's this very light, airy, fruitful energy. There's something very prosperous and abundant and fruitful about this year. The decisions you make it's almost like bam, 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 bam. Like you keep getting good, you keep making just the best decisions, Libra, the very best decisions. I'm also getting almost like you don't get any bad I'm getting this image in my head of like if you've ever played skee ball. And you know, when you slide that, you have that ball rolling up and you keep getting the thousand hole, the thousand hole, the thousand hole, you know. For those of you who are familiar with skee ball, that just popped into my head. I am getting, for some of you, there's an arcade. Some of you may be opening up an arcade or an old fashioned, I'm getting like an old fashioned arcade from, say, like the old century, as we now call it. You know, I grew up in the 80s. I was an 80s kid. I was born in the 70s. So I remember arcades. And what I'm seeing in my head here is some of you are opening up like an arcade from that era, which is looks a lot of fun. But there's something outdoor here too. So you might be doing like an outdoor, like some sort of obstacle course, miniature golf kind of. It's like a fun center, a family center. It's something that everybody can benefit from. That's only going to be for some of you. But I am getting this very strong outdoor, back into nature, back into the roots of it energy. I feel like a lot of you in the past have been locked up in the 9-to-5 grind. And some of you in very strict corporate jobs where you couldn't really get out and enjoy this nature. Some of you actually might be moving as well. If you're in an apartment, you might be able to find maybe a new apartment that has more nature around it, or even like a small house or even a big house. You know, this is very much abundant no matter where you go, Libra. This is very, very, very beautiful energy. So let's get into the love part of it, because this is pretty profound. When you start a year off with death, this beautiful transformation, and then followed by the Two of Cups, that shows me that whatever transformation took place in your head, mentally, spiritually, physically, it's allowing you to connect to people better. You're connecting better. The Two of Cups followed by the Two of Swords. Again, you're connecting better, that balance. Now, the Two of Swords, I do feel a little bit just in the love aspect, a pause, not necessarily indecision, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I feel like this is something that you and your significant other are maybe stepping up the game, becoming a stronger source together. And you're finding the balance in that. This new, it's almost like your relationship is born again. Now, for those of you who are not in a relationship at the time of this reading, you may be finding yourself in one, or you may be finding yourself perfectly fine going solo. You're able to have these kinships and these bonds with people without necessarily having a romantic partner. Okay, that's going to resonate for some of you as well. But for those of you who are already in a relationship, it just gets stronger. You're able to sort of dance through these obstacles together and you balance each other out. Beautiful energy. Now for the money. Ooh, money, 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 because the money's looking good. And the interesting thing is, even though I don't see any pentacles here on the bottom, makes no difference whatsoever. It's the energy we're tapping into here. This is very abundant energy. This is very peaceful, fun, carefree energy. And as any of you who have experienced poverty know, it's nearly impossible to be really in your element, having a good time, having a wonderful life, enjoying every little aspect of life when you're struggling just to survive. This is not a struggling to survive energy at all. This is you already doing well. Like you've been doing well, or you're doing so well that life becomes easy. It becomes easy. We start off here with the Lovers. You know, the Lovers in the business sense does speak to collaboration, very much like the Two of Cups, but also to this understanding. There's this kinship here. And you don't have to be in a situation. I love these cards because they're very natural. You know, obviously they're not wearing anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case with you. Some of you may be into the nudist colony. Go for it. You do your thing, you know. It's all about you and what speaks to your soul, and does it complement the people that you hold near and dear to you in your life, you know. And I do see this very free as a bird energy, free as a bird, going into summer. The Knight of Swords, making a very good decision on something. So some of you may be finding that you have a new idea, an entrepreneurial idea, a way to make passive income, and you get on it. You get on it right at the right time, because going into fall here, or autumn, You're mastering it. You've already risen from this level to this level. You go from knight to the king, and it's no nonsense. There's no nonsense, but it's not an angry energy at all. Look at these butterflies. You are just loving this. This is something that really speaks to you. I'm also getting with the swords, the speech, bringing ideas to life, very articulate. So some of you might be speaking publicly. Some of you might be, even if you're writing, I'm getting the pen is mightier than the sword is what I'm getting. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the sword is helping you execute this. So I'm seeing here, it's almost like the two swords match. It's like they are instruments. They're instruments not of aggression in this read, but rather instruments of truth. You're revealing truth. Go figure, Libra, you and your scales, you're revealing truth. And every Libra I've ever known, it seems to be a common trait with Libra, seeking out the truth of a matter, wanting to get to the bottom of things, and you're mastering this. And where do we end up in winter? The wise one. By this time, you are the master. You are raised above every level at this point. Flowers bloom in your presence. People flock to you. People seek you out for your wisdom. They come and pay homage to you. Again, with the keys, you've unlocked something. You've unlocked a little bit of like one of the secrets to life, and people are coming to learn from you. Some of you might be educators. You might be in the education. You might be a teacher of some kind. I'm seeing that very strongly, like this educational, you're teaching. You have as something you've mastered that you are able to teach others goes very, very well. I'm also seeing, again, with the outdoor energy, some of you are going to be involved in something very fun outdoors, where it's, because I'm getting this lighthearted, fun energy, like it's a recreational, some of you are going to be either tour guides or like you take a hiking group out, you take people out, maybe out on the water. But I am getting like a hike, like a tour guide. You get people out and going. Maybe they're tourists, or maybe they're people coming to visit your area, and you're able to guide them and show them beautiful things. I'm seeing you have a way with just speaking to people. You're very personable. You're easy to listen to and easy to talk to. People feel comfortable in your presence. And that's a beautiful, beautiful energy. Libra, this is really amazing. Another thing that I'm getting here when I'm looking at the transformation and the butterflies and the birds and, all this nature element, there's something about the way of life you had been living before has drastically changed by 2024. It's like when you take flight, I'm getting like, say, for example, if you've ever been on a plane, you know how when it's getting ready for takeoff and it starts going faster and faster and faster, and it's rumbling and it's kind of shaking. And it's not until you actually lift off the ground that you feel this amazing sense of calm, and it's almost still, it's not shaking anymore. That's what I'm feeling, this calm piece of flight, like takeoff. It's not, you're not on shaky ground anymore. You're not rumbling. Life isn't making a bunch of noise. You're taking off into this world. 2024 looks amazing for you, Libra. I'm so excited for you. And I'll tell you what, it is such a blessing to bring you this message. On that note, I am going to sign off, but I wish you all the very best. So until next time, over and out.